Yo, what's going on, guys? GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about the NFL playoffs. The NFL playoffs are happening tomorrow, so that is pretty exciting, and I knew just before the action to kick off tomorrow I figured I'd get on here and do a predictions video, because for both basketball and football for the postseason I usually talk a pretty good deal about it, about the games and whatnot. Let's see here. Let me get to the schedule so we can go on order here. Yeah, this is looking to be. Oh, okay. This is looking to be a pretty dope. Hold on one second. Let me check my sound. Okay, we're good. This is looking to be a pretty dope postseason. I'm really excited for it. There's a lot of teams that you wouldn't normally see here, a lot of shockers. A very interesting playoff pool in the AFC, let me tell you. That is a very interesting group of teams. I mean, yeah, there's one, two, three, four. Maybe 4 or 5 the teams were expected, but there's a couple of teams in there, as well as the NFC, there are a couple of teams in there. It's like, wow, these teams really made it. But we're going to go in order. So tomorrow at 3:30 we have the Seahawks and the 49ers. We're going to be starting in the NFC. You know, the 49ers, they have a young Brock Purdy who is in his rookie season, Mr. Irrelevant, and he is looking to capitalize on his rookie season by getting a couple of playoff wins, maybe even making a Super Bowl run. I'm not even really sure. They could have, let's be honest, I think the 49ers could have one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and they could damn near pull this game off. I don't think this is going to necessarily be a close game. You know, shout out to Geno Smith, one of the better comeback stories we've heard in recent NFL history. You know, he's surrounded by Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, but man, and I mean a very young secondary, and guys like Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen. Pretty good secondary there. It's going to be tough for the rookie quarterback to navigate this game, but as long as they have Christian McCaffrey on the run game, at least as long as they can throw some slants to guys like Deebo Samuel, as long as Brandon Ayuk's hitting his routes, and as long as George Kittle does everything he normally does, the Niners are going to win this game. I don't see a scenario where the Seahawks win this game. So, yeah, we're picking the Niners. Moving on to the Saturday night game, which is like a Sunday pick'ems thing. We have the Jaguars versus the Chargers. So we have the 4-5 matchup. Usually, statistically, the 4-5 matchup in the playoffs is, like I said, usually the better matchup. You know, we have Bucks and Cowboys on the other side. No doubt that'll be a good game. We will talk about that very soon. But we have a 4-5. This was tough, honestly, because, yeah, Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but look at the run that the Jaguars have been on recently. It is Duval country. You know, T-Law having the best stretch of his early career. Travis Etienne looking like the best young running back in the league. They have a great offense with guys like Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. Like, these guys have found a place to shine. They've worked in a great system under Doc Peterson, I think is his name. I don't remember their coach's name. Does it really matter? I don't know. But, I mean, obviously, a very tough team here in the Chargers. But yeah, that Jaguars game, that win against the Titans, that was so cool to watch. It was so wholesome to see a team like this take their team to the playoffs. I think that's really fucking awesome. But I don't know, man. This is a difficult one to call. I mean, obviously Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, obviously on the defense. You know, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack leading the charge with Derwin James. It's a very good team, but I'm going with the Jaguars. You know, Josh Allen. They have a pretty good team, and they've been known this season to pull off some miracles. So, and this isn't even a miracle. They're ranked higher than the Chargers. They are supposed to be the favorite in this game. People have the Jaguars winning this game as well. I'm not really sure the inactivities list, but I'm not picking it because ESPN said they're going to win. I'm picking it because I genuinely believe they can win this game. Moving on to the Sunday triple header, I guess you could call it Dolphins-Bills. Man, I really feel for the Bills here. Or I feel for the Dolphins here. They've had a roller coaster ride of a season, and as much as I would love to see them beat the Bills, I'd love to see the Dolphins win this game. It's not going to be close. It's going to be embarrassing for them. They might as well forfeit this game because the Bills are going to shred them to pieces. They are going to shred them to pieces. If Tua would have played, it might have still been the Bills in a close game. But my God, the fact that Tua Tagovailoa isn't playing in this game, that sucks, man. That really hurts. So, yeah. Final call is the Bills. Obviously, I think that's obvious. I shouldn't even really talk about any of the players. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and they have Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson and Mike Gesicki. They have some great players. Admiral Schofield, he's a great player, but they're not going to have that quarterback, that bullet passing quarterback, that lefty. That's hard to defend. The left-handed passer, you're used to him rolling out to the right, but he's going to the left. But still, him not playing, that's a big deal. Moving on to the Giants and the Vikings. As a Packers fan, I'm actually rooting for the Vikings this year because I truthfully think that they can make a run. Despite being, this fraudulent team. They've had some fraudulent losses. Guys, they've lost 4 games all year. It doesn't matter who they've lost the games to. They've lost 4 games all year. So you're saying they've lost to trash teams, but what does that mean? They've beat good teams. So I don't really understand this whole logic thing. I respect guys like Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton and Saquon Barkley and, a couple of defenders, I guess. But this Vikings team, yes, their defense is faulty. Yes, they've had some bad moments this year, but I truly think the Vikings can go somewhat far in this thing. We will have to see. I'm going Vikings. Will it be a close game? Possibly. We saw their matchup in the regular season be pretty close, but yeah. Moving on to the Ravens and the Bengals. That is the night game for Sunday. So we already have a couple of second-round matchups established here. This video will probably take a good minute, but Bengals-Ravens, not even a question. There's no Lamar Jackson playing. Tyler Huntley is playing. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for Lamar Jackson's future with the Ravens either. He's going to leave after this season, I have a feeling. And the Bengals they're probably going to wash him out. It's not going to be that close of a game. We're going to move on to the Monday night game. Possibly the best game of this entire playoff so far. We have the Buccaneers playing the Cowboys. And yes, I've picked all of the higher seeds because I genuinely think that's who's going to be winning those games. Buccaneers, Cowboys, this is going to close out our wild card weekend. But, man, Bucs, Cowboys, this is going to be awesome. This is one of the closer games. And ESPN doesn't say so, but my God, this is going to be a close game. And if it isn't, that's an absolute disappointment to sports fans. If it isn't. Man, people want to say that the Bucs are going to win this game. But I don't think that a team with Dak Prescott, Troy Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, a defense with Trevon Diggs, Micah Parsons, LVE. I truly don't believe a team like this is going to lose to an 8-9 squad. I don't think. Obviously, the Buccaneers have kind of caught a little bit of footing towards the end of the season. They've gone on tiny streaks. But they're 8-9, and they have struggled. I don't know. Have people really been watching the regular season? They lost to the Falcons. They blew a lead to the Bengals. Niners are great. Don't get me wrong. They lost to the Browns. The Browns aren't in the playoffs. They lost to the Browns. They lost to the Ravens, a low tier. I don't even think Lamar Jackson played. Oh, he played in that game. Never mind. Okay. Never mind that. They lost 21-3 to a garbage division rival. They lost to the Steelers, not a playoff team. Chiefs, okay. They lost to the Packers, not a playoff team. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm inching towards Cowboys. As much as I don't like the Cowboys that much, I don't know, man. I feel like it's more realistic for them. That is genuinely an amazing NFC bracket. The NFC bracket looks ridiculous. Moving on, though, to the divisional round. we're just going to go left to right. We're going to start with the Bengals and the Bills here in the AFC. This is a tough call, man. This is going to be an actual competition. You know, it didn't take place, obviously. Prayers up still for Damar Hamlin. I don't think he's like 100% and like ready to return to action or anything, but this is what would have came out of the Monday game. I really think the Bengals are going to win this game. I think the Bengals are going to beat the Bills. The Bengals ended the season on a win streak, I'm pretty sure. You know, if you look at their games, let's see what kind of teams they've beat. The Patriots, not a playoff team, I get that. They've beat the Buccaneers. They beat the Chiefs, guys. They beat the Chiefs. Let's see, looking around, they beat the Dolphins when they were still a playoff caliber team. Think about it. And yeah, they've beat some pretty solid teams this year, and they've had good runs. I'm pretty sure let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 8. They've won 8 straight games to end the season. I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. It is a freight train running through. Cincy is going to the conference championship for the second straight time. Chiefs and Jags. Do I really have to talk about this game? Like, yeah, I like the Cinderella story in the Jaguars, but realistically, we're seeing a conference championship rematch. Like, I really don't believe that the Jaguars could pull this off. I mean, the offense of the Chiefs is too good for a okay Jaguars defense. The Jaguars defense is pretty good, but yeah. Cowboys Eagles, division rival. I mean, yeah, that's great. Obviously, there's a couple division rivalries in here. Bengals Ravens, Bills Dolphins, 49ers Seahawks, and now we have the Cowboys and the Eagles. That's a division matchup. So if we want to take a look at the last time each of these teams have played each other, or both times this year these teams have played against each other, we can kind of come to a consensus of what I think here. So the Eagles beat the Cowboys 26-17. What week was that? I mean, that was pretty early. It was Cooper Rush, correct? They won 26-17 with Cooper Rush, playing against Cooper Rush. Playing against Gardner Minshew, the Dallas Cowboys won by 6. I think that's the difference, is without the Eagles quarterback, the Cowboys won by less than a touchdown. Without the Cowboys quarterback, the Eagles were able to win by multiple scores. So that's the difference, really. I mean, that's kind of dumb logic, but I still think that the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. We'll see what comes down to it. It's all about matchups. It's not like the best team always wins the Super Bowl. That's not how it works every single time, because genuinely last year the Chiefs were the best team in the NFL probably, and they just went against a tough matchup in the Bengals. So, yeah, Eagles are going to the conference championship. Vikings, Niners, this is going to be one of, if not the best matchup of the entire playoffs. Up there with the Bucs and Cowboys, up there with the Cowboys, Eagles. This is going to be a fantastic game. This is going to be a ride. This is going to be a great game. I genuinely think that. But I think the Niners played the Cowboys before. Am I wrong? Or the Vikings. They played the Vikings this year. Am I correct on that? Maybe not. So they haven't had a taste of each other. And, man, I want to see the Vikings win their first Super Bowl, but the road to get there is tough. Even in the wild card, playing a team like the Giants, like, that's tough, dude. And then they have to go and play one of the best defenses in the league, some of the best offensive weapons in the league. I got the Niners, though, man. I just don't see a world where the Vikings win this game. Their defense is going to wear the hell down, and the Niners are playing the Eagles in the conference championship. So here's the final four: Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers, and Eagles. Conference championship. What do we think? Well, The Bengals, keep in mind, they beat the Chiefs the last time they played. They beat them in the AFC situation. So we know that Joe Burrow can beat Patrick Mahomes in plenty of situations. He's able to get his team some wins. But I think this is the year, I'm making a joke here, where the NFL scriptwriters are like, you know what? Patrick Mahomes can't be like Aaron Rodgers. He can't have one Super Bowl ring. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes is young, but you got to think about it. Patrick Mahomes has been in the league for a good 6 years, has he not? I think it's time to give the next guy up his shot. Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are indeed going to the Super Bowl. And now we have the Niners and the Eagles. This is another great game. I mean, the last 2 games that the Niners are going to be involved with in are absolute bangers. Oh my god. 49ers, Eagles. It's really hard to determine who's going to win this game. It really is. So, in regular season play, they haven't played each other, have they? No. That's another interesting thing. You got to figure out how they've played each other in the regular season for some recency. So the Niners, 2 unfamiliar opponents in a row right now, and that's tough for them. And the Eagles, they at least have played the Cowboys before, their division rivals. The Niners had to go through the Vikings, and now they have to go through the Eagles. What am I thinking here, man? Like, what is the Eagles' defense looking like? That it all depends how good the Eagles' defense is playing this year. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the Eagles really at all. I mean, 20 points a game for an opponent. I think it comes down to who has the best defense. You know, 2 quarterbacks that can make mistakes. It's possible. These guys don't have like record-breaking passer ratings or anything like that. It really depends on the defense. And man, the Niners on average outscore opponents by 10 points. You know, let's look at some of the teams they've beat, you know. Okay, last 4 or 5 games haven't been great. But, I mean, the Buccaneers and the Seahawks are playoff teams. They beat them. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Chargers. Chiefs ran it up on them. That was not great. So if they make the Super Bowl, they're probably going to lose to the Chiefs. It's probably going to be just like what happened a couple years ago for Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl. Let's see. What other teams did they beat? Obviously, they beat the Seahawks twice this year. Oh, man. It's really tough, dude. I'm going to go for the Niners. Niners defense is just way too good, and we see a Super Bowl rematch from a couple of years ago. Dude, this is so tough. The Chiefs beat the Niners by 21 points. But this is like right before they won all those games in a row. So a flip switch. They lost this game and they vowed for redemption. So my Super Bowl as it stands is 49ers and Chiefs. I mean, let's look at the analytics behind this game. You know, were there people hurt or anything? I gotta take this all into account. I mean, who was playing for the? Jimmy Garoppolo played well. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey was just kind of getting used to the team. He only got 8 touches the entire game, and they threw 37 times. That doesn't happen anymore with a rookie quarterback. They have a lot more of a balanced offense. George Kittle was playing good. Brandon Ayuk, Ray McLeod, guys like that were playing good. You know, Juszczyk, McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings. They had some good options. But, okay, they had Charvarius Ward, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, Jimmy Ward. They have both of the Wards. That's weird. Brandon Ayuk probably because he was on special teams. Or someone threw an interception. And Tano Hufanga got an interception this game. But let's look at the Chiefs. I mean, this was one of Patrick Mahomes' best games of the year. So, and I mean, Isaac Pacheco is playing decent. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Juju. This is a once-in-a-lifetime Juju Smith performance. I'm sorry. It really is. Like, sorry to say. But that was... He had a 2-game stretch there. And those were like the 2 best games of the year. The only other good game he had or the next best he had was 89 yards. So, yeah, Juju Smith was a game changer in that game. Marquise Valdes-Scantling had 3 catches for 111 yards. Do we think the Niners are going to let that happen again? I'm not sure, man. This is a tough call to see who wins the Super Bowl here. I'm going with the Niners. We're going with them. The Niners are winning the Super Bowl. I'm not going to put a score or anything, but yeah, there you have it. The Niners are winning the Super Bowl. I don't know, man. I mean, Juju just had one of those fluke games. I'm not saying he's a garbage receiver because by no means is he, but man, you're not going to see a game like that in a playoff setting from Juju. Prove me wrong. Maybe in the early brackets, and maybe if he starts building up momentum going into the Super Bowl, then yeah. But as of now, I have the Niners winning the Super Bowl. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to stream on Twitch here in a little bit. GZTV Live on Twitch, all lowercase. We're going to be playing the new 2K season, playing Madden, and all that stuff. So check it out. Later tonight we have an NBA recap.